On today's show, we've got the return of the Bully Buster, Keta Rush.
Hey guys, Keta Rush in the house. I am the bully buster. I am the golden child, and I represent goodness. I represent empowerment, and I represent standing up for yourself at all times. Let's go.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Mike Grand Show. And today's special guest, we've got the return of the Bully Buster from WOW, Women of Wrestling. Please welcome back, Keta Rush.
Hey,
Hey
hey,
Keta, how are
hey.
you?
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me back, Mike.
You're welcome. So happy you can join us here today.
Yeah, me too.
Now, we got to say, you have been with WOW for a long time. How many years has it been now?
Been 11 years now.
11 years since the relaunch, since after the
Yeah,
original run and it came back. So
yeah.
that's awesome. So, I mean, you've seen a lot of changes over the years. People come and go, different things change. And one of the most exciting changes right now is WOW Women of Wrestling is on the CBS network in syndication. So, can you tell us what it's like to be a part of the CBS family?
It is so impactful to be associated with CBS, who's monumental, but to also have a global platform and to be able to be everywhere all the time, all over the world, so that everyone can see us in every country. I think that's pretty magnanimous.
Yes. And one thing that hasn't changed over the years is great wrestling. And we're going to talk about some of those matches a little bit later on. But I want to know, as far as you getting into wrestling, who are some of the people that you looked up to and inspired you, whether it be wrestlers or just people in everyday life that gave you inspiration?
Definitely Charlotte Flair. I think she just represents something for me where I see a woman who is so powerful, is athletic, is beautiful, and does the damn thing in the ring, but carries herself so poignant outside of the ring. And I think that that's very important, especially when you're blessed with a platform to inspire people and to touch people. I know a lot of celebrities don't want the other aspect of it, that you are still, all eyes are on you and you're still a role model. But I think she does a really good job of that. And I admire her for that.
Now, I want to know also, do you consider yourself a role model? And how do you measure that? How do you measure being a role model to others?
I definitely consider myself a role model, and I take that role very, very seriously. In my everyday walk in life, I mean, I own a business where I have over 100 members, and those are all children, people, adults that are inspired by me and inspired by my story and my will and my drive to just be so resilient and keep going. And then also, I think that um, the thing that makes you a role model is when you set a goal and you accomplish it, and then you set another goal and you accomplish it, and you just keep going, and it doesn't matter what's in your way. And I think that's something I've gotten really good at. So I put on that role model cape very proudly.
Yep, and all the WoW superheroes are great role models to everyone. And it's really important too that everyone gets along, everybody figures out how they have to work together to put on a great show and everything. So I want to know from you, you know, in the locker room, there's so many personalities. We've got Chainsaw. We've got the Fabulous Four. We've got the Mother Truckers. We've got Exile. So many different teams. How do all of them get along? And why is it important that they do? Even though that you may be afraid to walk by Chainsaw, that she may pick you up and throw you across the room.
Right.
But you guys got to put on a show. So what's the importance of them all getting along and making it a perfect performance out there?
I think the most important thing at the end of the day to remember is that this is not necessarily about us as individuals. This is a team, this is a conglomerate, and we are a part of an organization. And David's goal with the organization was to give women that platform. So we got to do something very special with it. And that can't be being catty behind the scenes or being negative or being rude. It's very important to keep the show as the priority. And when you do that and you keep, the trainers and the people that are putting this all together, when you put that at the forefront of your mind and you realize that's why you're doing this, I think that makes everything very cohesive.
Yep, and you've had a lot of new ladies join WoW over the years. So what advice do you give them when they come into the locker room?
Great question, Mike. My advice to any and all new girls that are starting wrestling is don't get caught up. Um, Train as much as you can, watch as much wrestling as you can, and practice your practice your character talking when you're in the car, when you're in the shower. Be your character. Um, think her thoughts, be her when you're mad, be her when you're happy, so that you can operate as that character flawlessly and effortlessly when you're in the ring. And don't get caught up in trying to be friends. I think letting relationships and friendships happen organically when respect happens is just better versus than trying to, oh, she's, someone, she's good with David, let me be for her friend. I hate all that stuff. So I would say just stay away from that stuff.
Now, of the new people, is there
Yeah.
anyone you've had your eye on that you think is really, really stands out to you?
You know who I want to match with? Goldie Collins. I think that would be an incredible match. The gold standard versus the golden child. It will be very, very gold. And I think that could be a very powerful match because she represents a strong woman, and so do I. And we're different sizes and we're good at different things. So I think that could be magical.
Now, there are a lot of bullies in the ring, and we're going to talk about some of them right now. Now, the first group of bullies that I want to talk to you about is Team Exile. Now, I know you did have a singles match, which we'll talk about a little bit, which was an awesome match against Exodus, but you did have a match with Exodus and, Ice Cold and Genesis, where you teamed up with Steffi Slays and Jen Flores. Can you tell us a little bit about that match and what it was like teaming up with both Steffi and Jen?
Yeah, absolutely. Teaming up with Steffi and Jen was really fun because I think we all represent like happiness and powerful and women empowerment, and we're all good at speed and popping back up. So I think that made it a very, very entertaining match. And then anytime I have to go up against Exodus, because we both specialize in jujitsu, I think that is always a fun thing to look forward to, like two grapplers about to put it down. So that's always very magical as well.
Yes, and you had an awesome singles match. I loved it against Exodus. Now, the outcome of that match was a little controversial.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us what happened in that match?
Yeah, absolutely. So, in jujitsu, there's a move called the triangle, and I am the triangle queen. It's actually a move that I have won in nationals, in worlds, and it's my jam. So, when we were going at it in the ring, she put me in a position where it was like, yo, I have the triangle. I'm gonna slap it on. And I did, and I made sure my shoulder was not down, and I don't know what the ref was looking at. I don't know if he was looking at, I don't know, but it ended up a draw. I know I put her in a triangle. I know my shoulder wasn't on the ground. I know I got the tap, but it ended up in a draw. So it leaves more story. Now we've got more
Yep.
opportunity.
I saw that. I was like, she tapped out. Come on, your shoulder's
Yeah,
up
you
more.
saw
You you
it.
you should have won that match. What's up
Thank
with
you.
that? So I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, do you think they're paying the refs? I think some sneaky business may be going on over
Yeah.
there.
Hmm.
You have to wonder about that.
Yeah.
Another opponent that you faced this year was Gloria Glitter. Can you tell us about that?
That was so fun. She's one of our new characters, and um, what an awesome superhero. I love training with her. I love wrestling against her. I love the fact that we are both just so explosive and really good at cardio. Our cardio is top tier. So it's just gonna be very entertaining. You're not gonna know what's gonna happen. And that was a very, very, very fun match. It was a powerful match.
And someone else that you wrestled a couple of times last year was BK Rhythm.
Yeah.
And you lost to her the first time, but then you got your rematch and you
Yeah.
were victorious. So tell us what that was like.
That was great because seriously, we've gone up against her and in tagging, in singles. So I mean, I was like, enough is enough. It's my time. I want my hands raised, and I was able to capitalize in that moment. And thank God I got the W.
Yep. And you did enter a couple of tournaments during the past couple of years as well. You tried for the tag team title tournament, which eventually Miami Sweet Heat got, but you entered into that with Steffi Slays, and you went against Chainsaw and Siren the Voodoo Doll. So tell us what that match was like.
That was I would say a squash match. um, those are some big monsters, and Stephanie and I haven't necessarily been in our bully bustin' flow. She doesn't live here anymore, so training isn't as we're not clicking as good. So I would say that definitely worked against us, and we didn't get that W.
And then you also entered the trios tournament as well. Now, one thing I want to ask is you entered with Sugar and Spice. So how come you didn't get Steffi and Jen Flores and try to do the three of you guys together?
Honestly, because trying to coordinate working when you are in a three-way, you have to like make sure you know who's doing what, who's doing what at all times. And Jen and Steffi both live out of state, and both Sugar and Spice live here in California and in Los Angeles specifically. So it was cool to be able to work with them and have a game plan. Um, Putting a plan together with Jen and Steph is a little harder just because they're not here.
Okay. And in that match, you faced Sofia Lopez's team of Tormenta and Las Benditas. So tell us what it was like going up against them.
That was insane. That was one of the most fun, entertaining matches I've ever been a part of. Tagging with them is magical because they're so good at lucha, and I'm so good at jumpy fly stuff. So put us all together, and there's fireworks everywhere. So that was a very, very, very fun match. Even when I wasn't in the ring cheering on my girls, they were killing it. I killed it. We did an amazing job. Those girls are just huge. So we took the L.
Now, you haven't won a championship yet in WoW. So I
Yeah,
want to know,
about that.
is that something you aspire to do? And what do you see as your path to get there?
You know what? I would love to be considered a top contender. I'm not sure what I have to do. I feel like I have definitely shown Selena and David how serious I am about this, how often I train, how much I show up, what a team player I am, how much I, carpool, working with girls in my own gym outside of the WoW training center. I feel like I've put my work in, and I'm praying that they see it on their end and that it could come full circle and I can get that opportunity because I would love to see that gold around my waist. I mean, it matches. It's my color. I'm the golden child. I want that opportunity.
Do you think maybe you need a manager? Maybe, I don't know, start wearing pink and teaming with Lana?
Ah,
Is that a
you
possibility?
know what? That would actually be a very cool full circle story somehow if I did end up with Lana managing me because she honestly was one of my first inspirations in WoW. So I think that would actually be kind of dope. Good idea.
Now, I
Thanks,
want to
Lana.
know what is the best part about wrestling and what's the not so fun part that maybe we don't know? Is there anything you would change about it?
The best part of wrestling is being able to be powerful and feminine and badass and entertain while I'm in the ring. Putting all of those components together is a recipe that equals happiness for me, and I love it. The not so good part is you don't get to pick how many matches you have. You don't get to pick who, you're going up against. Um, you're kind of at the manager's call or at the organization's call. So that part sucks because I would love way more matches and I would love way more opportunities, but because we've got so many new girls coming in, I kind of feel like I don't know, get to shine as much as I know I can and could, if I was given that platform.
Now, outside of WoW, you also run Team Bully Busters. So now that you're teaching women and children self-defense, now I want to know what is the importance of that, especially for young women to learn self-defense?
To me, it is one of the most important things that any girl could ever know in her entire life. And I say that because I am now a martial artist. I now train jujitsu, Muay Thai, boxing, and wrestling. I have now been involved with Team Bully Buster and empowering and teaching women all over the nation. And the value behind being able to advocate for yourself, stand up for yourself, love yourself, and defend yourself is a game changer. And if we can implement that aspect into girls at a way younger age than like when I got it and when everyone else gets it, it would be, I think, a change in the world that is needed. Girls finding their power at a way younger age. So I'm excited that I get to be one of the first people that gets to do that. I'm one of the first people that opened a gym just for women and children to learn how to protect themselves. So um, it's everything and it's so valuable. And I hope and pray that Team Bully Buster, the organization, grows to be something so huge where every kid wants to know how to protect themselves and stand up for themselves.
Now, do you see any hesitation from the parents when they come in as far as teaching their children about
Yeah,
self-defense?
yeah, honestly, great question. I do. And that part, it's such a heart puller because my parents were parents that didn't think I needed to learn how to fight. I was in dance, I was in gymnastics, I was in track, and I was in basketball. Nothing to do with, getting into an entanglement with someone else. So when I was faced with getting bullied and then beat up, I had no clue what to do. And my brother was in kung fu, he was a martial artist, and I always just hated that, like, why didn't my parents put me in that? And so I understand when parents don't, but I just hope that the way society has changed and the way it's changing, I just hope that they would wisen up and be like, let me just dance is great, but like, let's make sure she knows how to keep her hands up and knows how to move, Just, it's just so important. And I wish majority of parents got it, but I feel like we're getting there.
Yeah. And do you have to ever tell the parents, we're not teaching them to fight for the sake of fighting.
Yeah,
We're teaching them how to self-defense if they're
correct. Yeah,
ever in that situation.
yeah. And a lot of parents are so scared that their kid's gonna get hurt. And I urge them to understand that they are not going to get hurt in our gym. If they're ever going to get hurt, it's going to be at school for not knowing what to do. So let me just show them what to do. Um, some let me and some don't.
Yeah. Now, knowing what you know now, just about everything in life,
Yes.
if you had to talk to a younger version of yourself, what advice would you give yourself?
What a great question. I just had woo a very magical moment at my gym where we do like a women's group and um it was like a meditation and a breath workshop. And it got me to a place where I did see the younger Kita and I was able to hold her hands. So I'll tell you exactly what I said to her. Um, Keep going. You got this. It will all work out. And just really, really lean on God. He will always be there for you. And if I would have known that, I feel like so much would have been easier for me. So that's what I would say to younger Kita.
Now, wrestling and martial arts have gotten you to where you are today, but where do you see yourself in 10 years? What would you like to accomplish?
In 10 years, I would like to be an Oscar award-winning writer. I just finished writing my first feature, and I feel like it's going to take over the world in the most empowerment needed way. And I'm really excited about that. And yeah, that's my next chapter.
Yes. And then back on the Mike Grant show with that
Yes,
Oscar.
yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Now it is time for the lightning round,
Okay.
where I'm going to ask you a few things and you just tell me which one you prefer.
Okay.
So, do you prefer to sit in traffic for hours or wait in line for hours? Which would you rather wait the longest doing?
Wait in line because I can move around and I have to pee a lot. So I'm gonna have to get out of the car. So at least I can get out of line and be like, I'll be right back. Can you hold my
Yeah.
spot?
Would you rather flip a coin or rock, paper, scissors?
Dang. Flip a coin. Keep it simple.
Would you rather go to an escape room or a haunted house?
Escape room. No,
Would you
thank you.
rather say it, would you rather say it with words or say it with emojis?
Emojis.
What is the better button on the remote control, the rewind button or the fast forward button?
Rewind.
What's worse, having to shovel snow or having to scrape the ice off the windshield of your car?
Shovel snow.
Are you a hoarder or do you throw everything out?
Throw everything out.
Would you rather drink a pre-made protein shake or would you rather make a protein shake yourself?
Make it myself. Gonna go make one as soon as we're done.
Would you rather apologize first or wait for the other person to say they're sorry?
Apologize first.
Chips and dip or chips and salsa?
Chips and salsa.
Would you rather have an ice cream sundae or a birthday cake?
Neither. Some fruit.
No sweets for you.
Yeah, now, but
And what is the better superpower? Would you rather be able to freeze time or be able to fly?
freeze time.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for
That
joining
was
us here
fun,
today.
Mike. What a great interview. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. What would you like to say to all the fans who are watching today?
I would like to say, believe in yourself, love yourself. And if you have an idea, don't let anybody tell you it's not a good one. Just do it. Don't let nothing stop you. Just do it. I did it, and so can you.
Awesome. And can you tell everybody how they can find you on social media?
You can find me on everything, The Pretty Flower, Instagram, Facebook. You can find me, Keta Rush, and you can find my gym, Team Bully Buster, also Instagram, Facebook, all of the above.
Yep, and you guys can follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook. I'm the official Mike Rand. On X, I am Mike Rand Com, like the website MikeRand.com. And of course, on YouTube, I am at official Mike Rand and the Mike Rand. Thank you again for joining us here today.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. That was fun.
You're welcome. And thank you guys for watching. And we will talk to you all soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.